My dad and I had barely spoken in 20 years when he came to live with my son and I for 2 months a few years back. I had seen him 10 years earlier when I was pregnant. One night, he told me that in the rural village where he grew up, when a baby's born, they're left outside for the night. If they're alive the next morning, then they'll be strong enough to survive for a lifetime. This time, he told me about how he had been surviving the London winters all these years by living rough, sleeping inside of 2 garbage bags to keep out the wet and cold, swimming in the icy serpentine to keep clean, drinking milk and eating sugar packets from coffee shops on days he couldn't find food. On the farm, if you're lucky and watchful, you can find devil's dice, perfectly shaped, polished black squares that break out of clumps of dusty gray rocks. I can still remember finding them, scouring the ground while running double time to keep pace with my dad's long stride, red dust covering my shoes, my legs, my clothes, my hair. I've packed and unpacked those devil dice almost 20 times in the 30 years I've held on to them, moving them across the country, between countries, from mountains to islands. They remind me of South Africa, where I'm from but have barely lived, where generations of my family are that I barely know. They remind me of my dad as a kid, galloping through the red hills, searching for the perfect fishing spot. We walked for hours every day, playing cards at night. I wanted to fill him with good food, good wine, good music, love. But being hemmed in by 4 walls after so many years on the streets made him antsy. He took up so much space, pacing up and down, sighing heavily, and nervously twisting the well-worn groove from where his family signet ring had been for 45 years, hawked some years back. When he left to visit my sister, I was relieved. And when he called 2 days later asking me to pick him up at the bus station, I told him I was busy. It wasn't a good time. He didn't come back to stay. He died last winter in the middle of one of his long walks around London. This time, I wasn't packing or unpacking. I tucked one of my devil's dice and a tiny chieftain's shield into his breast pocket and pinned the woolly bugger flies he had tied with my son to his lapel.
You were a phonograph, I was a kid. I sat with an ear close, just listening. Was there when the rain tapped away down your face? You were a miracle, I was just holding your space. World time has a way of throwing it all in your face. The past, she is haunted, the future is laced. Heartbreak, you know, drives a big black car. I swear I was in the backseat, just minding my own